Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video on my newest coloring book about mandalas. I've been playing around with mandalas for a little bit, and the excuse was that I needed to sharpen my skills. It's been about 2 years since I made my last coloring book, so I actually did need to get back into the groove of things. But the truth is, it's actually quite fun to draw. Making patterns and designs is very different from drawing cats, costumes, mermaids, fairies. And I can understand why people would like to color mandalas and for stress relief. After trying to finish my 4-year degree in half the time, I kind of needed stress relief myself. So I drew a bunch of mandalas, and I took the 50 that I liked the most and I stuck them into this coloring book. When I started, I didn't have anything in mind. I didn't plan anything out or sketch them out beforehand. I just started in the middle of the page and I worked my way out, adding on to whatever I thought the image needed to look good. I just imagine people coloring each section, what would they choose to do with it, what colors might look good, and where their inspiration might lead them. So on different days, I might choose to draw entirely different things. So some days it was geometric, some days I drew stuff that looked like plants and flowers. Other days it was just random patterns. So I try to give you a nice variety of things to color. In this book, I put the simplest with the largest areas to color in the very beginning. And as you progress through the book, the difficulty will increase and the complexity of the artwork should increase. You're going to get smaller and finer details. So by the end of the book, you're going to be holding up a magnifying glass and you're going to be sharpening your color pencil after every stroke. And you're likely going to be cursing at me for the hundreds of tiny spaces you have to fill in. But hey, if you're up to it, it's supposed to relieve stress. So the Art of Mandala is published through Amazon's KDP program, which has taken over from CreateSpace. I like to make books that are affordable for most people. A while back, some colorists asked me to make an artist edition of my first book, Cats and Quilts. So that meant heavier perforated paper and spiral bounding. So I had a local printer print up exactly what they asked for, and it got really good reviews. The problem is the number of people that needed the high-end stuff weren't large. So I sold a couple copies, but it wasn't enough to sell out of the inventory that I had. I just don't think the market is large enough to support an artist edition. So my first book is still the only one that I have an artist edition of. By the way, if you want a copy of the artist edition of Cats and Quilts, I have it in my Etsy store, and the link is going to be in the description of this video. So back to Art of Mandala. It's a square book. It's 8.5 by 8.5 inches. It uses the KDP standard 60-pound white stock paper, which is very smooth and very bright white. It works really well with color pencil. And if you have a light touch, there shouldn't be any scoring from the color pencil. But if you press down really hard or you use gel pens, then I would recommend removing the page from the book or put something between the pages to prevent scoring and bleed through. The back of every picture in this book is blank, and the left side of every image has a little bit extra space. And I did that because the way these books are made, because of the binding, the pages won't lay perfectly flat right at the very center. So moving everything over to the right slightly um, makes it a little bit easier to color in them. And also, if you wanted to remove any of the pages in the book, you can open the book really wide and use an X-Acto knife and cut out the page. And with that extra space, you can then still have a symmetrical page without less white space on the left side of the image. Please feel free to photocopy any of the pictures in the book as long as it's for your own personal private use and you're not selling anything with it. You can make as many copies of the artwork as you'd like. And if you do that, I'd recommend printing it onto heavier paper. And you can also try different colored papers. So there's really no right or wrong way to do it. No special colors you should pick. Just do whatever floats your boat. And if you don't like the result, try it again with some other color or paper. Or if you're happy with the result, you can try framing the pictures. Something else you can do is post your finished artwork on Instagram, and or you can post it onto one of the coloring books on Facebook. I recently started my own coloring group on Facebook, and I'll include the link in this video. You can also tag me on social media, and I'll be sure to leave a thumbs up, a like, or a comment. Of course, if you do buy my coloring book, please leave an honest review. It not only helps me do better, but it helps other people decide if the book is right for them. You can also use the reviews to show off your colored artwork by posting that in the review. Anyway, hope this walkthrough was informative, and I'll try to do these more often. So happy coloring, everyone. Bye.